As of filming, when I film this, the United States and Iran are once again passing a memorandum of understanding back and forth through Pakistani diplomats to end the war that was already over, but wasn't restarted, but it wasn't really a war, blah, 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 blah. You know the deal. The Epstein distraction war. After 10 weeks, we may finally see this thing come to a close. Maybe, probably not. I don't know. And this deal is to set a 30-day window where the U.S. gradually lifts their naval blockade and Iran eases its grip on the Strait of Hormuz. And this week, while all of that is happening, we found out that Donald Trump's own intelligence community handed him a CIA assessment that said Iran is winning. That's from the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. Donald Trump's own people put it on paper and gave it to him. Presumably, he never read it because he can't read. And this paper, this memo, says that Iran has 75% of its mobile missile launchers still active, 70% of its missile arsenal overall. And they can survive Donald Trump's blockade for at least 3 to 4 months. The CIA even said the regime has gotten more radical, determined, and increasingly confident that they can outlast U.S. political will. That's the CIA's quote. But of course, Donald Trump refutes that. He went out in front of reporters on Wednesday and said that Iran's missiles are mostly decimated, and he just threw out some BS numbers, 18-19% left. Yet his own CIA says 70% of their missiles are left. Donald Trump once again is wrong about the war that he's fighting by a factor of what, four times the missiles left? And this memo, the Washington Post got a hold of it. And 4 people familiar with this document confirmed the content. So this is not just some speculation. And the people that confirmed it were 3 current and 1 former U.S. official. So there's 3 people in the administration that say, hey, you know what? This is real. And Iran, just so you know, had roughly 2,500 ballistic missiles before the war started. They also had thousands and thousands of drones, plus their launchers. And per the CIA, Iran has been able to reopen almost all of its underground storage facilities. They've repaired some of their damaged missiles, and they are even assembling new missiles that were already partially complete when the war started. They are still producing arms. We can't stop them. The Iranians, they have not just preserved their stockpile, they're rebuilding it. Meanwhile, by the way, we can't afford this war and we're running out of munitions. Just want to remind you that is something that we've been reporting all along. And the Washington Post, by the way, they did a visual investigation, meaning they looked over tons of footage, finding that Iranian airstrikes, they have damaged or destroyed at least 228 structures or pieces of equipment at United States military bases across the region. The 14% decimated regime hit American bases 228 times at least. Math is not Donald Trump's strong suit. And by the way, this CIA assessment, it is damning. They say, again, that Iran can survive this blockade economically for more than 3 months, maybe up to 4. And officials are saying that may be the CIA being conservative. Because Iran, they can move oil overland through Central Asia by truck and by rail. It won't replace the volume that ships do, but there is still an economic cushion. And just so you know, we already knew this, Donald Trump doesn't care what any of this war is doing to our economy. Iran can survive. Are we going to? Because Donald Trump told reporters that he predicted the price of a barrel of oil would get to $200 or $300 when he started this. Quote, I looked today and it's at 102. That's a very small price to pay for getting rid of the Iran nuclear threat. By the way, the nuclear threat that we got rid of last June. You know, this guy is bragging that oil only doubled instead of tripling. He's bragging that your gas prices are only over $4.50 a gallon, up from under $3 when the war started, instead of $7 a gallon, and that is what he thinks is winning. It is not.
So when I did this, I thought the market would go down 25%, and I thought that was a great deal if it did. If it went down 25%, I was satisfied. I said, because we cannot let these people have a nuclear weapon. They'll use it. We can't. I also thought oil would go up to 200, 250, maybe 300, and I knew it would be short term, but I thought it would go. I looked today; it's like at 102, and that's a very small price to pay for getting rid of a nuclear weapon from people that are really mentally deranged.
And by the way, Donald Trump isn't just losing in America, he's losing globally. We've already pissed off NATO. And now, I'm not a big fan of the Saudis, but he's pissing off the Saudis too. They just blew up his entire regional strategy. Per CNBC and NBC, the Trump administration, they launched that Project Freedom, totally different than Epic Fury or whatever the hell they're calling it. And that's the plan to escort stranded commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. It was 23,000 sailors or so from 87 different countries stranded in the Persian Gulf. And day one of this Project Freedom, Iran fires on the convoy. On day one, and only 2 ships make it through out of thousands. And on day 2, Saudi Arabia and Kuwait said that they were thinking about suspending U.S. military access to their bases and airspace if Donald Trump didn't stop. Saudi Arabia, roughly our closest Gulf ally, threatened to lock Donald Trump out of his own military bases on their soil. Donald Trump had to fold in just 36 hours. End of Project Freedom. And then, on Wednesday, the 14-point Memorandum of Understanding comes out. Oil drops 7 to 8%. It's good news for most of us, but it was really good news for whoever was holding the short positions. They made a fortune, and we're going to talk about that in another video. But for this war, the CIA, they said it best. The leadership of Iran has gotten more radical, determined, and increasingly confident that they can outlast the United States political will. That right there is all you need to know about Iran. They're not scared of Trump. They're not scared of us. They're sitting watching Donald Trump fumble Spirit Airlines, watching Donald Trump's approval rating shrink to where it's a gap of 22%, watching gas hit over $4.50 a gallon. 53% of the Americans are opposing this war. That's what Saudi Arabia, that's what Iran, that's what Kuwait sees when they see Donald Trump. They're not scared of him. And the CIA is trying to tell Donald Trump, dude, you got it wrong. And hopefully we haven't gotten this wrong. I'm sure you guys will let us know in the comments if we did, but I really would appreciate it if you told me all the things I got right, because I like you guys.